What are some things that a teenager should avoid? Really loud music. I mean the kind at a concert front row loud. BC tinnitus really sucks. And then there's me, a teen with tinnitus without listening to music or going to concerts. Same here dude. Noise machines are a lifesaver. Ugh. I knew I had to slow down when I could hear the ring over the machine. Another phase to look forward to is when certain noises only make the ringing louder. I just love playing and writing loud music too much to stop. And even with ear protection it adds up. Although for all the dangerous hobbies/addictions I've seen people get sucked into, if tinnitus remains my worst self-inflicted damage, I've gotten off easy. Pregnancies. Yeah, teenage pregnancy sucks. The teenager is way too big for the birth canal and usually ends up ripping it to shreds. To shreds you say, and how's his wife? To shreds you say. Addiction. Debt and pregnancy are the big ones. But avoid waiting for life to begin. It already has. Go in some positive direction. Even if you're not sure it's the exact right one. That your life has started is some real shit. I wish I was told this at 12 or 13. I would have done so much more with my life I think. I spent middle and high school playing video games waiting to be an adult essentially. What are some things you regret not doing when you were younger? In other words, what would you have been doing instead of playing said games if you could relive the time? Edit. Wow, these are some great replies. I should probably clarify that I'm 20, so I've already developed some life skills, but I do still find myself playing video games to kill off time. Thanks to COVID I've learned to do some basic woodworking and gardening. And before all this in August 2019 I got into finance and investing and been doing well there. Edit 2. This is making me appreciate knowing a second language and some of the other skills I have. Maybe I'm not so behind on the life curve as I thought. Edit 3. Wow, my most updated comment, I'm so proud, thanks guys. Also should mention I have had the privilege to travel a lot and plan on continuing to do so after this whole COVID thing. So yup. Got that one. Learning hobbies. How to use tools and fix up things around a house. Exercise and set up healthy eating habits. And study much harder than I did to have a better scholarship opportunities and better chances of going to top colleges where all the magical networking happens. Trying to change who they are / what they like so as to fit in. It's something you might regret later on. Not exploring your own individuality and hobbies. Yeah. Stop trying to tailor your personality to appeal to each new person you meet. You're not required to be everyone's best friend. It took me so long to figure this out. It wasn't until my early 20s that I figured out how I like to dress, what I like to do, or what music I enjoy, because I used to change according to other people's tastes. I'm 16, and I could count on one hand the number of friends I have. I always felt like I didn't have enough friends by seeing how many friends the popular and cool people from my school had. I'm really trying to not care about these kind of things anymore. But it's definitely hard with the pressure of society. You should have a GF. You should like this type of music. You should wear this kind of clothes. And it goes on and on. Close bracket. If you have a few good friends, then that's plenty. It's not an arms race. Don't worry about getting a GF yet. At your age they're too much of a distraction. Girls who are friends are much better. Bad company. People that will try to use you and lead you down the wrong path. Why did I read this in the same tone as the song? Procrastination. Not as big as the other ones, but my god. Procrastination can get so bad and affect you so horribly if you let it get out of hand. I'll stop procrastinating. Later. Maybe tomorrow. Yes, my child. Join me. I'll join you a little bit later. I'll make up an answer to this thread later. STDs. I have 0% risk getting any of those. My face is an excellent protection. Avoid self-destructive attitudes is a good one. Probably 95% of people alive are decently attractive. You can lose that extra 15 pounds. You can shave those unwanted hairs. If you look in the mirror and think you are below average, you are probably closer to average, which is fine. Average people are perfectly good looking enough. If you look in the mirror and think you are absolutely hideous, maybe you are slightly below average. But truly ugly people are rare, and more often than not they have 13 out of 10 charisma, and it makes up for it. Honestly dude, like I can't name anyone I think is ugly. but people I initially saw as ugly are some of the funniest, most interesting people I've met. When I ramble about crazy shit I've done, they interject with crazier shit. When I ramble about my interests, they ramble back about this. Just that mutual rambling is attractive as hell and doesn't even need much charisma as long as you aren't interrupting. They all look physically attractive, like all my friends do, because of how my perception was warped from them being so mentally attractive, and that's an amazing thing to realize and really makes you more confident in yourself. Social media and seeking others' approval. That shit will destroy them for years. This terrifies me about my 2 kids. I was bullied as a kid in elementary and then high school. I had the ability to go home and forget about all of them and escape by playing video games. Fuck me. Kids these days don't get an escape. I have a 6 and a 5-year-old. I worry about when they're fully exposed to the world. All I can do is try to raise them to not put weight on what others think. I'm really struggling with the new question about what's the proper age to get a kid a smartphone. I'd like to hold it off for as long as possible, but it's really worth considering that at a certain age you're inhibiting their social life more than helping avoid internet addiction. I got mine around 10 or 13, but that was solely for the purpose of texting my mum. It also massively helped with my shit spelling, but other than that I hardly used it till my late teens. Though 13 years ago is a long time from today's online entertainment emo. Suppressing emotions. It's okay to feel sad, angry, anxious, etc. Don't be made to feel bad for feeling this range of emotions through your teenage years. Wish someone taught me this. Emotions were discouraged in my household. Well, positive emotions were fine, but if I didn't look happy my parents would get angry and yell at me. Now I'm trying to fix it by teaching myself what my parents didn't. But to be fair to them, they were raised like that too and didn't know any different. So to anyone who's going to have children or already has them, one of the biggest favors you can do your child is work through your own shit, because it will follow them and you'll realize it way too late. That is why they've been saying you should heal yourself first before having a child, so that your child wouldn't have to heal because of you. Fuck yes, more people should do this. My mom found her dream job in her 30s and my current stepdad in her 50s. Don't be too concerned with whether the things you're doing now is gonna be forever. Do what you can to open doors for yourself, but don't feel forced to think you need to know with who or what you should spend the rest of your life with at this point. Time gives you time to discover more things. Discover more things, and eventually you'll find your way, even if you didn't realize it. Stop thinking in today and forever. You got all the time to figure it out. Just get yourself a solid foundation and explore. Except for drugs. Don't explore things that you could get addicted to for the rest of your life. Fake friends. It's honestly better to have no friends than people who gossip about you and make snide remarks to you. I know everyone says this, but you will find your people. So true. Sometimes your people are not the ones you're grouped with, just because you live in the same area. Life is so much more than high school. This shit happens in the work world too. Except there's no graduation date and your pension may rely on you putting up with those people. Gotta be real careful in that situation. Some people have no clue. Avoid skipping the dentist. Even if money is tight, professional cleanings and preventive maintenance will pay dividends later in life. Edit. RIP my inbox. A horror story to prove the point. I caught a bad spell of depression some years ago and stopped taking care of myself in many ways, including flossing and going to the dentist. I ended up having to have surgery to hollow up and fill out a completely rotten tooth, costing insane amounts of money. I was in so much pain. To make matters worse, there was a surprise nerve in one of the roots of my teeth, meaning they nearly drilled while the area wasn't completely anesthetized. I've brushed my teeth religiously since, but sometimes we still find surprise holes from that time where I couldn't take care of myself for a few months. Take care of your teeth. Same here. Lost my job and spiraled into 2 years of depression. Probably brushed my teeth once a day if I was lucky. Had to have 2 teeth pulled, a root canal, root scaling, so many fillings, and a crown. Definitely ashamed and learned my lesson. Edit. Clarification. Brushing my teeth once a day was what I considered good. There were stretches of time where I didn't touch them for weeks. Probably where I did the most damage. Depression is rough. Is brushing once a day really that bad? Yeah, I was gonna say. I brush my teeth way less than that BC I forget, and I've had 2 cavities in my entire life and they were both small. Lack of sleep. It ain't make you cool. Go to bed early and enjoy full 9h night. Tell that to all my teachers right now. Believe me, I'd get 10+ hours if I could, but my schedule simply doesn't allow it. School lessons. Every teacher for every subject assumes you have literally nothing else to do but study that particular subject. My wife lived this life in high school. Went to a prep school that definitely prepared her for college, but she was up until 11 or later most weeknights doing homework. She said until she entered the honors college. College was easier than HS workload wise. Now she is a teacher at a prep school and she gives very little homework. Ever since I was in preschool, all the way to professional, I have considered homework a useless, futile task. You have it. You get some points towards a grade. You don't. You lose said points. That's that. Very few teachers actually go through reviewing issues with homework and why it wasn't completed. Most of them use it as a way to prove they're doing something. Anything you wouldn't want your mother to hear about at your trial. Best fucking comment right here. This is why I don't speak for a month when I create a new Netflix account. Adults trying to be too friendly / date you. You're not mature for your age. People their age don't want to be with them or around them for a reason. Yep, I remember when I was 14 and there were girls in my class dating men who were early 20s, and I thought it was pretty odd then. And now I realize these men probably went for young girls as they are easy to manipulate. Yeah. I remember in high school the cool freshman girls would be dating seniors. I look back on that, and while it's not of the worst, I'm also wondering what a 17 over 18 year old was seeing in a 13 over 14 year old. It's only a few years, but a lot of maturing happens then. Physically and mentally creeps me out when I think of it now. When I was a freshman in high school, seniors looked like literal adults to me, lol. I kinda felt the opposite way when I was a freshman. I thought that the seniors just looked like us. When I was a senior, I was like, oh my god, the freshmen are kids. If you are new to Tattletale TV, please subscribe. We have new videos every day. Stay tuned for more coming up next.